This episode is about the sound of Michigan, Detroit especially. John Lee Hooker. Dr. Ross is another one that uses this boogie beat. It's called talking about different records of John Lee Hooker we like. Endless Boogie, Hooker and Heat. And then we're cut off. I was just about to mention that one that Billy Hector also is a big fan. It's live at Soul Bed Prison. That's where he goes. All the way from the Motor City out to Salinas. Anyway, he did move to California. He turned into a real California guy, John Lee Hooker. In fact, once he had some big hits right before, as he grew older, he had one big hit especially was The Healer with Carlos Santana, and then a bunch of other special guests, but that song especially was a hit, and he sold a lot of records. And then there's three more after that, like collaboration ones with all blues guys, everybody. Keith Richards was on Crawling King Snake, and everybody, all my favorite guys are on there. It's great. Those records are really good. But with each record, he bought another house. He wound up having 5 or 6 houses in California, mainly in Northern California around. So a lot of his musical partners were like San Francisco guys. He also played at the Fillmore. He was part of Bill Graham's thing. It was like John Lee Hooker opened for the Grateful Dead and things like that. So he was really part of a bunch of different music scenes over the years. And I saw him in Atlantic City with the Rolling Stones. He was a special guest of the Rolling Stones. He was better by himself. As much as I love the Rolling Stones, he's somebody that was really better by himself. Great. I always love to listen to this one I watched today was so good. Him playing Serve Me Right to Suffer. Close up of his fingers. It's great. Okay. Yeah, those were the records that were so good. The Healer. But also the Hooker and Heat one, that was great because Alan Wilson, the harmonica player, they played together really well. That's the one with Deacon Jones, right? No heaven, no burning hell. And then he had some other like bad songs, like one bad like Jesse James, where he says he holds them underwater till the bubbles stop. And then his big hit was Bad to the Bone, covered by what's his name? George Thorogood, the Delaware Destroyer. Had a big hit with that one. Yeah, he had a stutter. John Lee Hooker had a pretty bad stutter speaking. One that he really had to overcome. Speech thing that he had to overcome. It didn't happen when he sang. Once in a while when he introduced the song. Okay, here's a John Lee Hooker song. Lord, I'm juicing. Yeah, I got a ship out on the sea. drifting. Yeah, like a ship out on the sea. We ain't got nobody in the world who cares for me. I'm drifting. You're like a ship out on the sea. I'm drifting. You're like a ship out on the sea. I ain't got nobody in the world who cares for me. John Lee Hooker, Drifting Blues.
That's what I think of when I think of the blues. Like the blue blues.
Yeah, John Lee Hooker was often described as the deepest blues guy, like the heaviest guy. It really was a real like vibe, a real feeling to see him live. You know, it was like it was great. Situated, you know, like that, you know, it was like a really nice theater, a really attentive audience, good sound, floor, it was great. You know, it's funny, I also remember we took a train home and back to Homedale, and there was Pink Floyd was playing at the Madison Square Garden the same night, so the train ride back was a big wild party with all these kids that were pretty high. It was great. We were making animals noises.
On the
Instigated
train?
by us, yeah, on the train. It sounded like some kind of zoo train, like wild animals. Gavin Egbert. Alrighty. Yeah, my friend Gavin Egbert from high school. Oh yeah, here's another Homedale High School story. There's a guy, Peter Matt Ruth, great harmonica player, who lives in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and plays there. In fact, he sells these harmonica mics, shaker mics, really good microphones. And I should maybe get a new one. I break them all or lose them, or whatever. Anyway, once when in high school we snuck in. We lived right behind the Garden State Art Center, like a big concert place, outdoor, kind of outdoor in half outdoor, like a a dome kind of thing. So we snuck in to go see the jazz guy, Dave Brubeck, and like halfway into his show, a younger guy, long hair, walked down on stage. He had bare feet. I couldn't figure out what he was doing, and then he had a harmonica in his pocket and played a really great jazz solo. And, I was really amazed, really very impressed. So this guy Peter Madcat Ruth, that's who was with us that time. Maybe Steve Heath, I think, my friend, maybe the Hanlons, and another Peter Doherty. Peter Doherty might have been the first guy I heard play harmonica, actually. Peter Doherty. Wonder what happened to him. Anyway, yeah, a lot of my friends who knew about music had older brothers, like Peter Doherty or Steve Heath, so they knew that Dave Brubeck was something worth sneaking into. Yeah, that was great too. That was also a very memorable thing. We walked right up to the front. I mean, we could have stayed on the grass, but walked right up to as close to the front as we could. It was great. Dave Brubeck in high school. Yeah, I've been lucky to see so many good things, just right place at the right time. So anyway, the one thing I did miss was this blues festival they had in 1969 in Ann Arbor. That was remastered by the White Stripes guy, and that's released. It's got every blues guy on it. And then there's this other thing that you can't see was the John Sinclair benefit, the Freedom Rally that they had. John Lennon played, and Stevie Wonder and Bob Seger, and they made it like a documentary. They filmed it. They called it 10 for 2 because he sentenced 10 years for having 2 joints, but it was never released, and you can't really. It's hard to find anyway, but the little one you can't see it, or there's bootleg recording of the sound at least, and it's John Lennon playing. He sounds like a blues guy. He's using a National Steel guitar and like an old dobro, and went in open tuning with slide, and just him and Yoko playing the congas. 3 kind of folk songs. Blues songs. And when we went to the Motown Museum in Detroit, that was great too, really great experience. We went on the whole tour, it was really fun. Yeah, Detroit has a whole whole sound, a lot of bands that sound really tough and hard, like Mitch Ryder and Iggy Pop and the Stooges and MC5, and they have a really a really tough sound, really hard. Maybe the weather, maybe the industrial nature of the place, I don't know, but Detroit is distinctive music, nothing wimpy about it. Yeah, sorry, this thing got cut in half, so I forgot what I said on the first episode, or if it's the second episode or the second half of the first episode. But it was mainly about John Lee Hooker and blues from Detroit, and then how the blues is related to Ann Arbor through some great blues festivals and concerts back in the day. And I think there's still a good music scene there. I think it's still a good place for blues guy to play. So we would like to thank all our friends, especially friends from Michigan that watch this show. Things are almost like starting to get back to normal in New Jersey. Our band has been vaccinated, starting to play gigs. We have one tomorrow, weather permitting. So far only outdoor gigs, but we're back in action, back in the saddle. Tomorrow in Long Branch at the Whitechapel Projects. Whitechapel Projects. Maybe you say it like that. Maybe projects is a verb. I know it's not project.
It's plural.
Whitechapel Projects.
Ongoing.
I think it's Whitechapel Projects.
Presents.
Like presents, but project. Yeah, Whitechapel Projects. We play there tomorrow from 1 to 4 outside in the courtyard. With Richie Blackwell, special guest. Here, do you want to play on this one? Speaking of Richie Blackwell. It's always fun to play with Richie. Or any kind of percussion. Eddie on the percussion, on the drums, bongo drums. Okay, thanks for listening to this week's episode, half of episode, half of the